Oh, the storm's picking up. Whoa. That's dangerous. Hello everyone, Thranxes here, and welcome back to The Sinking City, Episode 2, where we have some scampering little creatures. What the heck? What in heaven's name? No, nothing special. Just eating some octopus. You know how it goes. So are any of these buildings able to be interacted with? It doesn't look like it. Under the keel bar. Exit. Well, we did go in there and found the murderer, and we dimed them out, even after we said we would keep their identities safe. I think they did it, though. Grimhaven Bay. I suppose we could keep exploring, except it doesn't appear... Whoa. Are you okay? What are you wearing? You talk to me at all? No. Clear water. I suppose if we take a look at the old map, we need to get to our hotel, which, oof, quite a ways away. Where is our legend? I thought we had a legend. Fair enough. I suppose we're going to have to start exploring this city at some point. But I'm curious as to what else is down here on the dock. I don't imagine we'll be back this way anytime soon. Some hot dog carts. Some canned goods. A lot of litter and trash. I suppose that's the least of their worries here. There we go. Hop the fence like a true private eye. Ooh, that is some inky water. There's a whole lot of stuff over here for not really having anything worth looking at. Ooh, don't break your ankle. You don't want to step into one of those. Now what? Ooh. Ooh. We're being hurt by something. Oh. Oh, there's eels. Oh, get out of the water. Oh, they're all over us. Oh, no. I don't like that at all. Oh. Ugh. Get me out of the water. Please. I beg of you. Oh. Okay, well... I suppose we had to get the first death out of the way, so it might as well have been then. Okay, so we reaffirmed something I sort of already knew, which was water so dark you can't see through it bad, and land good, even if it's not dry land. Alright, well I suppose we'll leave it to it. Head out of the docks and we'll go check out the Grimhaven Bay. Uh-oh. Cinematic. I had this horrible dream I was eaten by eels. And somehow I lived. Oh no. Oh no, the flag! Oh, the storm's picking up. Whoa. That's dangerous. Oh. Hold the phone. So did we black out all the way to the hotel? What? The plot thickens. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Padlocks and weak planks can be broken with gunfire or a melee attack. Well, that's good to know. The ensuing chaos made large-scale repairs impossible. Oakmont is full of illusions. Most of them, including the illusion of safety, can be dispelled. Har, har, har. Boy, I'm glad to see they've got such entertaining little tooltips. Costume unlocked. Daywear. Oh, that's what I have, huh? And look, I'm dry. Oh, this room. Not the nicest one. It smells. Vacationist? Oh, you don't say. Newcomer, unburdened newcomer. Windcoat, vacationist. Daywear? No. Windcoat. It's stormy out there now. Plus, this looks very private eye. Yeah, there we go. Let's give us a smirk. Alright, what else do we have here? Some laudanum. Tincture of opium.
No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return. No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
Are we really chugging laudanum? That's rather bleak. Okay, alcohol shell casings. Ooh, all kinds of goodies. What have we in here? Antipsychotics and a first aid kit. Very good, very good.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers.
Okay, very well. My Diary Part 1. Dear Diary, I don't know what exactly sank the USS Cyclops. I only remember the screams and metal creaking, water filling the deck and my headache. The worst I've ever had. I found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. Oof, a nearby piece of a boat helped me survive and reach the shore of a small island. They found me on it later, starving, half mad and babbling about the ancient ruins and their denizens. The officials said none of what I thought I'd seen was real, but my memories are true. My strange powers, gained after that ordeal, prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering, and it still haunts me. Ugh. Okay, well, let's chug some more laudanum then, right? What have we here? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. All Edgar Allan Poe.
Never again, they say.
Never again. A plea for help. Dear Mr. Reed, I understand you are the private eye that caught the murderer in the port. My life is in danger, and I cannot trust anyone in this city. Please, come to my room, which is just opposite yours. I'm in despair. Well, that's convenient. My studies have drawn the attention of vile forces. They stalk me and will take me soon. I have cast my lot and am beyond saving, but the 7 books must be saved at any cost. Even if I'm gone, find my notes there. This knowledge must not be lost, as it could be our kind's last hope for enlightenment. Please, be the bearer of this light, for I have failed. Okay. Some mystic tomes, you say? I accept these terms. I do not accept the terms of this bathroom. Ugh. This is gnarly. Wow. Just, wow. Oh, I gotta bathe in that? Oh, notes all over the place. Who came in my room? Oh, locks? Note from J. Vanderberg. Mr. Reed, it seems that you overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throgmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time. Johannes. Well, I suppose that makes a little bit of sense then. Ooh, raids on Innsmouthers. The number of attacks on the Innsmouth immigrants has increased. Raids are intensifying, with more and more Innsmouthers exposed to abuse and assault. Sometimes whole families are found dead in their houses. Police are on the case, with several illegal Innsmouther businesses captured and their owners sent to jail. This city ought to have been cleaned of these fish-faced scum long ago, said Robert Throgmorton, head of the Throgmorton Grand family. I regret only one thing. It all started too late. Had we not neglected our civic duties, my son Albert would still be here with us. That seems extensive. Let's look at our casebook here. So we have the thing inviting us to the Mystic Tomes side case, and then of course we have the Lost at Sea key to the headquarters, and some lore. We've got some extra documents, and yes, these. Okay, we've read all those. I think it's safe to say we'll... Wait, there's no room opposite mine. There's two rooms opposite mine. So you mean they had the time
Makes
to
this
put
place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
You mean they had the ability to put my name up on my room? That's pretty interesting. I'm just gonna barge in here. I hope you don't mind. Oh, hold on. We're gonna search this, rummage through this. Ooh. Yeah, let's climb over it. Let's make sure there's nothing here in the corner. Now let's get our camera armed there. Yes. Alright, just making sure we have film. Okie dokie. Let's go right in here. Oh. Oh, this person doesn't want to let me barge into their room? How dare they? This... It's got a very, what do I want to say? Like a Beautiful Mind vibe going on here? Where do I start? Let's just grab a random note off the wall. Tome in the ruins. Local women were talking about a ruined house in central Coverside near the radio tower on the crossing of Landing Avenue and Kingsport Street. They said the ghosts of the house owner and his family still read the unholy book they kept. Several newcomers who tried to settle in those ruins have gone mad. Book in the bank. Talking with locals is never easy, but this old chap was one of the queerest yet. He was happy to talk about the book, but only laughed when I proposed to buy it. I left it in the most guarded place of the city and paid enough to keep it there until the world ends. And if it's abandoned after the flood, even better. Ignorance is the best guardian. I'm guessing he meant the abandoned bank building in Northern Advent on Forefather Street, between Heelog Street and Wind Half Avenue. Alas, it would be too dangerous to go there by myself. Okay, well, that's 2 books. What else do we have here? Then nightmares. I boarded up the windows and locked the door. They are just men, the Yellow King's gang. They can't get here now. Now there's only me and these nightmares. A little longer and I'll figure them out. No, the Yellow King is not to be trifled with. The Hidden Book. It took a lot of effort to track down this book after being stolen from the Throgmorton Museum. It was bought by a local surgeon who was found dead in his house after the flood. I snuck in and checked out his place, but in vain. Still, there is somewhere else the tome may be. The private hospital in Western Reed Heights where the surgeon worked has been abandoned. The archives say it is on Bourbon Road between Innsmouth Road and Oak Street. Okay, so it's like a little bit of a collectible quest, it seems like. Here we're getting a few different hits, right? Yes, of course. Let's see, we still have a few more to get. Let's see what's in here. Ooh, pistol round, gunpowder, shell casings. What do we have here? The Waiting Book. Building the church was his redemption. Day after day, he worked without payment, carrying stones and putting them in the moist soil of Salvation Harbor. At night, when he returned to his house behind the church, he could not sleep. The book his ancestors brought across the ocean called. When the church was built, the priest found him hanged on the bell ropes, but the book is still waiting for someone to come and read it. His house is in the central Salvation Harbor on the Old Church Road between Sevenoak Street and Windham Street. It still has a bad fame. No one wants to live there even after the flood. Well, why would they want to live there after the flood? That doesn't even make sense. The Tome of the Mare. The fishermen talk of a place near the Blackwood Manor on the southern part of Whisper Street where meetings occur in the dead of night. The locals don't like this part of eastern Grimhaven Bay because they seem to fear those who gather near the half-built ships. They say a certain book is read at these meetings, a cursed tome that makes people so crave the sea's touch that they go and drown in the ocean. The one reading the book stands on a cursed boat that sinks in the fog. Those who saw it touch the shore have either gone mad or disappeared. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, no, here's another one. I was going to say, are there going to be 7 of these? I don't know. The Bewitched Tome. The local legends may be more than mere superstition. A dozen witches were hanged on a huge apple tree that still grows near the cider mill. Ooh. Among these documents is a confession. One of the witches said the devil himself granted them a book with words of power. This book hides itself from mortal eyes, waiting for the witches to be reborn and return to claim it. The witch who wrote this confession lived in eastern Reed Heights, somewhere north of the intersection of Communion Road and Museum Avenue. Could the book still be hidden there? And what if we hear the Wheel Tome? I had a dream so real it still makes my hands shake. A huge Ferris wheel rose amidst the city. People got on and rode it higher and higher before jumping off at its peak. As the pile of corpses grew bigger, the crowd pushed me to the wheel. And then I saw a man with a leather bag. He was standing in the center of the wheel and reading from a book. His awful dirge was making the wheel rotate and dragging the crowd to their slaughter. Could this vision be real? I know there is a Ferris wheel at the park in western Old Grove near Century Avenue and Beacon Street, but where could the book be? Seems almost like we got everything we need for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Sounds good to me. 7 books, and we've got all our clues. So the collectible case is now up and running. What have we here? Keep it down, Mr. Archer. I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors. I'll make you pay for any scratches you leave.
The door won't budge.
Fair enough. Suppose green doors don't open and light-colored ones do. Oh, the windows are pretty nasty as well. So we're just barging in everyone's room now. Oh, I need a handkerchief. Hold on. Now imagine you take a bath in this thing, right? And you get out, and that's the towel you get to dry off with. I'm just saying, it's food for thought, right? Interesting collection of books? Not really. Nothing there of note. No, this is your beautiful mind setup right here. Too many coincidences. So the lighthouse is out, several ships have gotten lost at sea, and some are now decorating the city's beaches. That's one thing. But now there's an enterprising fellow at the city port hiring salvagers to recover ships. He's turning a tidy profit from selling them. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look into it. Now, if only the city wasn't so impossible to navigate. That's got to be a lore thing, I'm guessing. Right? Yeah. Perhaps we need to go turn the lighthouse back on. What have we in here? Gunpowder and alcohol. That's a good briefcase right there. Nope, nothing. What have we here? Look at these rooms. This is... Oh, not the painting. What in creation is that? Oh my. Okay, alright, well... We don't get to look or interact or mess with any of this, huh? Okay, fair enough. Well, perhaps we just need to vacate that area for now. Okay, top floor is kind of a bust. Let's continue down to the next floor.
Finally, you're awake.
Ugh.
Gotta tell you, though, mister, you want to stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
What noise?
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
I didn't do anything.
Got any proof it was me? It could have been one of my neighbors. I slept like a rock. I didn't hear a thing.
That's exactly what a newcomer would say.
Huh.
Your neighbors are respectable people and would never do such a thing. Don't think your yellow-clad patron means you get away with everything.
You're not exactly
What?
friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
Interesting. Oh my goodness, look at all these notes. Ooh, buddy. Wow, that's a lot of exposition all at once. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to read it all necessarily right now. Instead, I'd like to rummage through your back storage room here and just see what's going on. Is that a thing? Shell casings? Thank you, thank you. Oh, what have we here? To my dear nephew, my dear Victor, how is Oakmont treating you? Should you require any support, the Blackwoods will be happy to help you. I've arranged for that. Regarding your question, I don't know where Robert went. Sadly, only that he did not stay in Innsmouth. Perhaps there is hope he didn't perish in that cursed raid. Take good care of the hotel, please. Plenty of our relatives were interested in the property, but you're still my favorite nephew. I know the Devil's Reef is in good hands. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just helping myself back behind the bar. I hope you don't mind. All of this is sort of... Look at that shell. That's great. Can you give me any more information?
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Cool. Smile. Note about the hobo signs. Darren, I think I'm finally starting to figure this out. Locals use signs to mark special places. That you know already. Kind of like the secret signs hobos use all over the country. What I learned is that the tradition dates back to times well before the flood. I've been able to find out the meaning of some of them. You've seen the crooked H-shaped sign on doors around town? That means the house is inhabited. The crosshatch grid sign marks hidden caches of useful items. Okay, that's good to know. The V-shaped sign is for barricaded, dangerous places. Good catch there, they say. Still haven't figured out the spiral-shaped sign, though. You'll have to investigate for yourself. And if you see a sign with a cross and 3 Ks, reach for the gun. Interesting. Anything else in here worth reading? People just leave their documents lying around? And I'm not even just reading them, I'm taking them up and putting them in my backpack. I don't know what that's all about. Walter! Okay, help you if I hear you're peddling your cheap, affordable living again. I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flop houses, but you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. I know you're on the fish market, and I have dangerous people living here that I can send after you. You've been warned. Vic. Ooh, trouble in... I almost said paradise, but... www.notsomuch.com with the whole paradise thing. Oh, that's what the H means? The little crooked H, right? Inhabited. Okay, well there we go. Now we have a fast travel point. And now we're outside and we're wet again. Look at these barnacles just growing up on everything. Oh my. This is the way of it, isn't it? Oakmont University Library, Oakmont City Hall, Hospital of St. Mary, the Asylum, Throgmorton Manor, Oakmont Police Department, the Oakmont Chronicle, so that's like the newspaper. A lot of options. Now, looks like we've got a boat to navigate the rivers, little canals. From the depth. Is it death from the depth? I believe it says. Depths. What have we here? Ooh, a map. Did this update a point on my map or something? I don't understand. Automatic telephone. No, that's just a way to look at my map, I suppose. I don't know. New location, infested area. Hold on a second. Do I want to go to an infested area? What's that all about? That seems really gnarly. Okay, perhaps we'll get a little bit of exposition and see if it pushes us into a direction. We have all kinds of documents. We should read some of them. Letters from Oakmont. Oh, that's its own case, isn't it? Okay, well, that's interesting. We've already read those. Make those disappear. Alright, letters from Oakmont. Forlorn woman. This city, no matter how badly the flood damaged it, has an unnatural appeal. I can't stop myself from walking, even if it means being struck by further visions. I went to the eastern part of the Salvation Armor, near the crossing of O'Callahan Street and Old Church Road. It came. The feeling of loneliness and fear was immense. I was a woman locked in a room, infected and slowly rotting. My body turned into something. It itched badly. And my face? I had to hold the skin with both hands to prevent it from growing until I suffocated. Ugh. I ended up sitting on the road crying until some Innsmouther kicked me and ordered me away. The eastern part of Salvation Harbor, near the crossing of O'Callahan Street and Old Church Road. Old Church Road. Nope, nope. And O'Callahan, right? Blocked passage, treasure, mystery, danger. Interesting. Eastern Salvation Harbor, crossing of O'Callahan Street and Old Church Road. No, it's here. Edit. Here. Okay, that'll work. Let's see what else we have. Eastern Coverside, corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Lane. I guess we should read the notes, though. Huh? The visions are testing me, playing with my mind. My old forgotten fears come to life. When I was small, I was afraid to stay alone. I thought my parents would leave and never come back. Today I went to the eastern streets of Coverside, and the visions came on the corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. I felt I was alone, forgotten in a locked room, hungry and frightened. It was so scary to stay inside, but everything was much worse behind the door. Something scratched in the corridor. There were terrifying screams from outside. I could not run, could not hide. I just waited for Mom to return. Eastern Coverside, corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. That's not a street anymore. Corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. Okay, sure thing. Mirrors, mirrors. I'm afraid someone stalks me. It started when I visited Western Advent and had a vision at the intersection of Purity Road and Oak Street. I saw mirrors full of reflections and someone trapped, trying in vain to escape. His expression of fear and panic shook me deeply. After that, a very tall and skinny man started following me in the distance. What troubles me is that I see him in the reflections, but I've never caught a straight view of this stalker. I'm sure the police will mock me if I come asking for protection. Seems it's time to buy a good, trustworthy gun and start to practice. Probably. Couldn't hurt. Western Advent, intersection of Purity Road and Oak Street. Purity Road and Oak Street. Alright. Okay, good enough. Disgusting exaltation. No matter how different my visions may be, they are always so frightening. Today it was man. He left a house in southern Old Grove on Warwick Street, somewhere between Seaside and Hillside Streets. Our eyes met, and I immediately felt a burning exaltation, a wild torrent of emotions. I saw him among the monstrosities, touching them, embracing, kissing. The vision was so intense I bent in two and threw up all my breakfast. He walked past saying something like, "Cursed newcomers," and I prayed he wouldn't stop to help. Even now when I close my eyes, I see the creatures around this man. Southern Old Grove on Warwick Streets, you say. Warwick Street, between Seaside Street and Hillside Street. Okay. Sounds good to me. Let us continue. Call of the ocean. Tonight the air forced me to leave the hotel. The putrid smell of rotting seaweed and fish made it hard to breathe. I remembered a huge apple tree and thought it may be nicer there. Moreover, I was afraid that the hotel owner would see my seizures. The visions occurred when I was a few blocks from the apple tree, walking E. Brown Street in Central Shells. I felt like I was drowning. It's a common theme in the sinking city. I ran forward, and when I passed the street of St. Michael's Church, I felt the water surrounding me, pressing, calling. I needed all my will to fight the desire to go to the mare and sink into the depths. Central Shells, walking E. Brown Street. Okay. Central Shells, East Brown Street, to the east of the corner with St. Michael's Road. Yep, that'll do. Static in the ears. I was walking the Lombard Street in Eastern Reed Heights when it happened again. It's not just a vision, but a noise. Hissing radio static, growing louder and louder. Voices from afar were lost in it, crying desperately. I tried not to show how bad it was. I was afraid to reveal it to the locals. The images came after I passed Bullock Street towards Helog Street. The hissing flooded my mind, and I saw a man surrounded by radios talking to them. He was dying. I felt it. And when it happened, the vision was gone. Eastern Reed Heights. On Lombard Street. Ooh, look at this area over here. It's just gone. Between Helog Street and Bullock Streets. Boom. There you go. Next, voices from the pipes. I'm afraid of the bathroom and kitchen sink. Each time I want to wash my hands, I tremble in fear. What if they'll talk to me? This began after a vision in Western Reed Heights near the crossing of Ibon Ward and Baker Streets. I saw a man naked and covered in blood in a room without doors or windows. Surrounded by the dark holes of the pipes, he was cutting himself piece by piece, feeding those copper mouths. They were whispering with voices so sweet and promising, but full of hunger and hatred. How could he believe them? Could he even escape? And had they noticed me? Alright, this one is at Western Reed Heights, near the crossing of Baker Ward and Ibon Streets. Boom. From behind. I can't help but turn around at any noise after what I saw yesterday. I walked down the Murdoch Avenue in Western Advent, and near Oak Street I was hit with an excruciating migraine. My nose started to bleed and the visions came. I saw one man writing a letter and another about to strike him from behind. Somehow I was both the spectator and the sitting man, but no matter how I cried out warnings or tried to move, it didn't work. It seems I lost consciousness when the killer hit the man's head, and it took me several hours to get back to the hotel after. That one's probably the most troubling, I have to say, just, personally. Murdoch Avenue and Oak Street. Terrible fetus. Oh my goodness. After this vision, I shake in fear at the sound of a child's cry. It happened in Western Reed Heights on Washington Street. I passed Ibon Street and was heading towards Oak Street, but I saw it. The thing was running so fast, I didn't even understand what it was. It jumped from the window, and the vision struck me immediately. I saw a man, a doctor, hiding in the room. He was writing something with a shaking hand, something like a last will. Then I saw the thing stalking him. A fetus on thin, pointy legs with a little face full of evil and hatred. It's shrieking. I can't forget it. Okay. It's getting a little... Oh, the Yellow King Avenue. Ooh, be careful of that. And that just goes right on out that way, doesn't it? Ibon Street and Oak Street. It's Washington Street between Ibon and Oak Street. There it is. Okay. Getting there. Innsmouthers notes. The local Innsmouthers scare me a lot. I've never seen a place with so many ill people. Their faces pursue me even in visions. Recently, I was in the northern part of Grimhaven Bay, walking down Whisper Street. I barely made it to Hubert Avenue when the visions came. I stood among many Innsmouthers, disguised as one of them, and listened. Their leader read the story of a captain participating in pagan rites, copulating with savage witches and beasts, bringing sacrifices. I still remember his name. Obed. Northern Grimhaven Bay, at the corner of Hubert Avenue and Whisper Street. There's Whisper Street. But Hubert, not really seeing that one. Whisper Street. Perhaps this is it? There's Hubert, corner of Hubert Avenue and Whisper Street. Interesting. Maybe we'll just move it right over here, shall we? So many. Lullaby Crossroad. Today I fell asleep on the street. I'm sure it's connected to my visions somehow, because I felt the same nausea and headache as before they strike. It happened in Coverside, near the corner of Tanner Street and Old Church Road. I felt dizzy and my mouth was full of bittersweet taste. I saw a woman with kind eyes giving me a drink and whispering something. Immediately after that I fell asleep and spent nearly half the day lying in the dirt like a hobo. It's a miracle no one stole anything from me. Corner of Tanner Street and Old Church Road. Okay, fair enough. And then last but not least, a pack of notes. The hotel owner allowed me to look through the weird notes he found in the rooms of disappeared newcomers. Among them, I found several pages from the diary of a man describing his life in Oakmont. He suffered from visions and marked the places where they happened. Was he trying to avoid them? Interesting. All right, and we'll do these as well. So let's look at these. A Ferris wheel in the park in Western Old Grove near Century Avenue and Beacon Street. We've already read these, so... Eastern Reed Heights, the Bewitched Tome. North of the intersection, Communion Road and Museum Avenue. North. Okay, fair enough. Next, Eastern Grimhaven Bay on the southern end of Whisper Street near the road to Blackwood Manor. There's no other Whisper Street there, so it's got to be the southern end of Whisper Street. we'll just place it there. Central Salvation Harbor and Old Church Road. Between Seven Oaks Street and Windheim Street. Seven Oaks, and there's Windmill Avenue. It's not quite the same. Is it? Windheim Street. Yep, right here on Old Church Road. The Hidden Book, Hospital Building in Western Reed Heights, Bourbon Road. Right between Innsmouth Road and Oak Street. An abandoned bank building in Northern Advent. On Forefathers Street between Helog and Windhalf. Yep. Okay. And then the ruins near the radio tower in Central Coverside. And the crossing of Landing Avenue and Kingsport Street. Okay. I think that's good. Now we should be able to look, and we have so many markers on our map, so many places to go. I think our first step, though, should, in all honesty, should be to this infested area here, as it is right next to us. And there was a vision there, if I'm not mistaken. Ugh. Alright, let's be careful here. Alright. Now what I want to do really quick is refresh myself on these notes. V-shaped sign is barricaded dangerous place. Crosshatch grid, a hidden cache. H means... but what's the M with the lines? Well, there was a vision had here. Oh. Oh. Let me out of here. Come on. Oh. Is this for real now? Oh. Stop it now. You're making me do this. Okay, that hurts the sanity a little bit. Do we not have like a melee attack that I can... Okay, we have 4 rounds in there. We have 4 rounds in there. Perhaps we can make some ammunition. Let's take a peek really quick. Powerful 44 cartridges. This one uses 38. Yeah, we're gonna make a few more casing, or a few more rounds here. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Now what are you gonna do? Ugh. I don't know if that head is really like a weak spot, but we're gonna use it. Oh no. There we go. Okay, so we're a little hurt, but I think we've cleaned this place out. My goodness. Let's try to gather some supplies here. Ooh, there you go. That'll get you some ammunition, some alcohol. What do we have in here? Powder, metal, scrap. Kind of hurting for ammunition. I'd really love to get like a melee weapon, perhaps. I'm guessing this is the sign for Throgmorton. No, I know that H meant that building was inhabited. Just trying to see if perhaps there's a way I can get a few more items. Oh, we did get some cordite. Perhaps what we need in our inventory, let's see, antipsychotics. No, we will make a first aid kit. We'll make an extra one because we're going to use it. No, maybe 3 is all we can have. Let's make a few more of these rounds here. Not a lot of extra bullets to be had. If you're crouched, hostiles are less likely to detect you. Enemies may harm your sanity and your health. Ammo and supplies are scarce. You could say that again. Guns are not going to reload themselves. Ooh. What I really need, though, is a first aid kit. Very good. Okay, now... maybe we need to look and just see if there is some melee. Melee attack is E. Okay. Oh. Oh my goodness. No. I'm just gonna chop you with this shovel over and over again. There you go. What is that? Did we end the infestation over here? Not entirely certain. Ooh. The furnace is still going. Oh. What? What? That's just the kind of thing to make you wonder if it was really there all along or not. Oh. Well, what do we have here? Better check these items. Oh, yeah. There we go. Climb up to the top here and let us assess. Ah, 38 round. Let's go ahead and reload. Ooh, 45 ABP round. Seems like a lot of ammunition, but not really much else up here, is there? I suppose I should give it the mind's eye approach. Why would they let me climb up through there? There's no discernible reason. Oh, it does go down. Ooh. It is pretty gnarly in here. Grotesque, if you will. Oh, it's about ankle, or it's approaching shin deep now. Okay, there's more over here. Doesn't seem like there's anything necessarily to do at the moment. Perhaps we should just vacate. Goodness gracious, looking at the time, I would say it's about time that we wrapped up this episode. It's going to be tricky for the first little bit, trying to handle all of this exposition. But we'll get it squared away. We'll get into a regular schedule. Until next time, take care.